Hello students. In this problem, we have a hemisphere of mass capital M, as you can see, of radius capital R. A small sphere of the radius small r is placed at the top side of the hemisphere. And you see this hemisphere which is at the top of, and you see this small sphere which is at the top of the hemisphere was at rest. That hemisphere is placed on a perfectly frictionless horizontal surface, which means that hemisphere can slide forward or slide backward depending upon the forces acting on it. Now we are giving a small disturbance to this small sphere. This small sphere has been given a very little disturbance, because of which it has started rolling on the hemisphere, and that rolling is without slipping. It rolls without slipping on the hemisphere, and when it rolls without slipping over the hemisphere, then after angle theta, we have to find out what is the velocity of this hemisphere of mass capital M. Right, this was the question. You can read in the question part, you can read the text part also, and I recommend you to solve this question and then come back for the solution part. But first you must try this question, because it is a very good question involving some good concepts of the mechanics. So here is the solution for this question. Notice that initially the whole system was at rest, right? That is given in this question. After that, this little sphere is given a small disturbance, because of which it starts rolling. If I assume that during the rolling motion, the angular velocity of sphere about its center, the angular velocity with which this sphere is rolling, let us say that angular velocity is omega. So that is the angular velocity of spin, omega of spin. The sphere is spinning about the center of a sphere, that is the omega. Further, the radius vector which is joining the center of hemisphere, the radius vector which is joining the center of this hemisphere to the center of small sphere, that means this radius vector is also rotating. This radius vector is rotating with time. So I assume the angular velocity of this radius vector as omega. I assume this radius vector is rotating as, I assume the angular velocity of this radius vector as omega 2. I can call it omega 2, and I can call it omega s for the spin of sphere. So there are two type of angular speed. One is the angular speed omega s, with which that small sphere is rotating about the axis passing through the center of that small sphere. And the second angular speed omega 2 is the angular speed with which the radius vector which connects center of the little sphere to the center of the hemisphere rotates in the space, that is omega 2. So there are two angular velocities, make it very clear. Now, since the sphere is rolling without slipping, okay. Further I assume that the linear velocity of this hemisphere, I assume that the hemisphere is moving to the left side with velocity capital V. I assume the velocity of hemisphere as V to the left side, right? Now, what will be the reasoning for this question, and how can you make certain equations to solve this capital V? This, because we have to solve this value of capital V, and for that we need to write down some equations based on some fundamental principle of mechanics, in which the first basic principle is that in the absence of external force, the linear momentum of system remains conserved. And in this question, if I consider the system as that small m plus capital M, I find no external force F external in the horizontal direction. There is no external force in the horizontal direction, and therefore the linear momentum in the horizontal direction has to be conserved, that is constant, and the value of that constant will be 0, because the whole system started with 0 velocity. So at the initial moment, there was no linear momentum in this system. So after a certain time, the linear momentum, which is conserved because of absence of any external horizontal force, and therefore I can write down one equation based on this fundamental principle, which is conservation of linear momentum. So what is the linear momentum of this capital M mass? Capital M mass is moving to the left side. So you will write down linear momentum for capital M as m into v to the left side. This is the linear momentum of capital M. And what is the linear momentum of that small m mass? The linear momentum of a small m mass. Notice that the center of mass of that small sphere, the center of mass of that small sphere will have a velocity which is perpendicular to this radius vector. The center of mass will have a velocity which is perpendicular to this radius vector. Okay. If I join this radius vector, then that and the velocity of center of mass, these two are at 90-degree angle. And what will be the velocity of that center of mass? So the velocity of that center of mass will be, we can write down the velocity of center of mass of that small sphere as this total radius, which is capital R plus small r, capital R plus small r multiplied by this omega. Which omega? So this radius vector is rotating with the angular velocity omega 2, and therefore the velocity of center of mass will be capital R plus small r times omega 2. Right? But remember one thing, this is not the velocity of center of mass in the frame attached to the ground, because this radius vector, let us say it is O and something like center of mass. So this point O is moving to the left side. Right, this point O is not a stationary point. This point O, which is the center of hemisphere, point O is the center of hemisphere, and that point is also moving to the left side. So this is the center of hemisphere, center of capital M, and that is not a stationary point. So this velocity of center of mass is relative to point O. That is not the absolute velocity of center of mass. And while following the conservation of momentum, we need to follow the reference frame which is attached to the fixed surfaces, that is ground, and therefore we will calculate the linear momentum of small m mass in a reference frame attached to the ground. So the linear momentum of that small m mass will be small m into what is the velocity of center of velocity of small m. If I calculate the velocity of m in frame of ground, if velocity of m in frame of ground is required, then you can write as it is velocity of m with respect to the capital M plus velocity of capital M with respect to ground by the definition of relative velocity. And that I have to do in the vector form also. While adding these two velocity, take care of the vector. So by this reason, the linear momentum of that small m mass will be velocity of small m with respect to capital M. This velocity of small m with respect to capital M, this is denoted by, this velocity is denoted by this V center of mass oblique O written as capital R plus small r into omega 2. And I need to find out its a horizontal component, because linear momentum is conserved in the horizontal direction only. It is not conserved in the vertical direction. So first of all, I will find out what is the horizontal component of this velocity. And that horizontal component will be used at this place. And then I will add the velocity of capital M with respect to the ground. So if you resolve this velocity of center of mass relative to point O, which is perpendicular to this radius vector, and that radius vector is at theta angle with the vertical. So component of this V center of mass relative to O in this horizontal direction can be obtained. And if you obtain this component, if you try to write down what is the component, then you will get capital R plus small r into omega 2 times cos of theta. That is the horizontal component of this relative velocity. And then I will add the velocity of capital M, but the velocity of capital M is to the left side, so it will be subtracted according to the law of vector. So this is the velocity of, this is the linear momentum of mass small m in the horizontal direction towards the right side. This is very key point. This is the most important point where students normally do mistake, that they forget, they consider this velocity of center of mass, which is denoted by capital R plus small r into omega 2. They consider this velocity as the real velocity or the absolute velocity of the center of mass. But this is not the absolute velocity of center of mass, because this sphere is being carried by the hemisphere, and the hemisphere is also moving to the left side. So if this hemisphere is being carried by the hemisphere which is moving to the left side with velocity v, obviously this velocity v will be added to the velocity of center of mass. So this center of mass is moving towards left side with velocity capital V, in addition to this velocity which is capital R plus small r into omega 2. And then I have to consider the horizontal components only because the momentum will be conserved in horizontal direction. So by conservation of momentum, these two are in the opposite directions and the total momentum has to be zero. And if total momentum has to be zero, the magnitude of these two momentum, because they are already in the opposite direction, so their magnitudes must be equal. And therefore, m into v can be written as small m times capital R plus small r into omega 2 into cos theta minus capital V. So that is first equation from the conservation of linear momentum. That is the first equation from conservation of linear momentum. More equations are required. So more equations can be obtained by some more principles, like that small sphere is rolling without slipping. Okay, it is given that the small sphere is rolling without slipping. It is rolls without slipping. It is given. And if it rolls without slipping, then you can use this statement to write a second equation, which is the criteria for rolling without slipping and the conditions for rolling without slipping. If I write in this question, what is the condition for rolling without a slipping? Then for rolling without slipping, what should be the criteria? And the criteria should be that the velocity of center of mass, this velocity of center of mass, which is relative to the hemisphere, the velocity of center of mass relative to the hemisphere, this velocity has to be equal to small r multiplied by omega. This velocity has to be equal to small r multiplied by omega. Okay. So for that, you can write down that capital R plus small r multiplied by omega 2, that was the velocity of center of mass relative to hemisphere, because the object is rolling on the hemisphere. So we need to consider the relative velocity and should be equal to small r into omega, which is the tangential velocity created by the spin of sphere, the tangential velocity due to spin of sphere, right? That is your second equation. Third equation, here I want to mention one thing, that whenever any object is rolling on a moving surface, if object rolls on some moving surface, then the relative velocity of the center of mass, that the relative and object should be uniform, then the relative velocity of center of mass relative to what? So velocity of center of mass are relative to the surface on which it is rolling, that relative velocity has to be tangential velocity, has to be equal to the tangential velocity due to the spin of sphere. And to understand this concept, follow this concept. Suppose we have a platform. Suppose we have a platform on which a sphere is rolling. Suppose we have this platform and a sphere rolls on this surface. So I consider one sphere rolling on a platform, right? Suppose that the center of a sphere is moving with velocity v and this sphere rolls with angular speed omega s spin. And this platform is moving forward with velocity vp. So how do you write conditions for pure rolling? How do you write conditions for the pure rolling? Okay. So we write the condition of pure rolling as, if I consider any observer on this platform, then relative to this observer, the center of sphere is not moving. This v is the absolute velocity. Okay, this v is the absolute velocity. But to write down the condition for pure rolling, you need to consider the velocity of center of mass by considering observer on the surface where the system is rolling. And relative to this observer, center of mass is moving. The center of mass is moving with velocity v minus vp, and that velocity has to be small r into omega, where small r is the radius of sphere. And the same concept I have used in the above expression, equation number 2, that capital R plus small r into omega 2. Okay, this capital R plus small r into omega 2. It is already relative velocity, so no need to change it. This relative velocity of center of mass has to be equal the tangential velocity created by the spin of this sphere, which is small r into omega. So that is our second equation. One more equation is required, and that is, in case of a pure rolling, we all know that in case of a pure rolling, there is no rubbing between the surfaces. In case of a pure rolling, there is no slipping, there is no rubbing between the two surfaces. And in the absence of any rubbing between the two surfaces, there is no loss of energy. Loss of energy is zero. And therefore, I can follow that total mechanical energy has to be conserved. The mechanical energy of system will be conserved in this question. So the initial mechanical energy equal to the final mechanical energy. And what was the initial mechanical energy? What is the final mechanical energy? So initial mechanical energy should be equal to the mechanical energy at angle theta. And what was the initial mechanical energy? Or you can otherwise, in the other way, you can say that the loss in gravitational potential energy, in a simple word, you can say that loss in gravitational potential energy should be the gain in kinetic energy of the system. And what is the loss in gravitational potential energy? What is the loss in the gravitational potential energy? Notice the center of mass of the hemisphere, center of mass of the small sphere has moved from this level, has moved from this height to a different height, has moved down. The center of mass of the small sphere has moved down. So you will calculate this height h, and corresponding to this height h, there will be loss in gravitational potential energy by this small sphere. I leave this step for you, that you calculate the value of small h in terms of capital R, small r, and angle theta, and accordingly the loss in potential energy can be written as that small m g and capital R plus small r times capital R plus small r times 1 minus cos of theta. That is the loss in potential energy. In fact, this capital R plus small r cos into 1 minus cos theta is the value of small h, which is the height by which the center of mass of a small sphere is moving downward in the vertical direction. And now it has to be equal the gain of kinetic energy. So who is gaining the kinetic energy? Who is gaining the kinetic energy, and by what amount, right? First of all, that hemisphere is moving with velocity v. So the kinetic energy of hemisphere will be half mv square. That is the kinetic energy of hemisphere. Let me write on the next page. Loss in the gravitational potential energy is equal to small mg capital R plus small r, and in bracket 1 minus cos of theta. That is the loss in potential energy. Whereas the gain in kinetic energy of capital M mass will be half capital M into v square. Further, the gain in kinetic energy by the small sphere which is rolling on the hemisphere. So this kinetic energy will be equal to the kinetic energy of its translatory motion plus the kinetic energy of the spin motion. That is the kinetic energy of center of mass plus kinetic energy of spin. So this kinetic energy, which is corresponding to the spin, will be half the moment of inertia for the uniform sphere will be 2 upon 5 m into r square times omega square, that is the omega spin square. And this kinetic energy, which is corresponding to the kinetic energy of center of mass also, you can say this is the kinetic energy of center of mass. So the kinetic energy of center of mass will be written as half m and the total velocity carried by the center of mass. Once again, what is the total velocity which is carried by the center of mass? This is again a crucial point. What is the total velocity which is carried by the center of mass? So this center of mass is carrying one velocity which is denoted by capital R plus small r into omega 2 perpendicular to the radius vector. And also the center of mass is having one velocity v to the left side, as this small sphere is being carried by the hemisphere. It is placed on the hemisphere. Hemisphere is moving to the left side with velocity v, and therefore the center of mass will be carried by the hemisphere towards left side with velocity capital V. So center of mass has capital V velocity towards left side, and this capital R plus small r omega 2 velocity perpendicular to the radius vector. So we need to find the resultant of these two vectors, and then we can find out what is the real velocity of center of mass, and that real velocity will be used for calculation of kinetic energy. So I will explain it here now, that the center of mass of that small m sphere, it has a velocity of capital V to the left side, and it has one more velocity in this direction, which is tangential to the radius vector. The velocity towards left is capital V, and this velocity is capital R plus small r times omega 1, and this angle is theta. So adding them by the rule of components, if I add them according to the rule of component, then the horizontal velocity of this portion can be written as, and the vertical velocity will be there. There will be some horizontal velocity, there will be some vertical velocity. So the horizontal velocity of that center of mass will be capital R plus small r omega 1 minus V, that is the horizontal velocity, and the vertical velocity will be capital R plus small r omega 1. Sorry, here it will be cos theta also. Okay, the mistake, I forgot to take the components. So it should be capital R plus small r cos of theta as the horizontal component and minus V, and here you will have the vertical component as sine of theta. And now the resultant of these two will be the total velocity of center of mass, and that I will use in the expression for kinetic energy. This total velocity of center of mass is needed for kinetic energy. So this is equals to half m into square of the horizontal velocity, square of this horizontal velocity, which is capital R plus small r omega 1 cos of theta minus V. This is the horizontal velocity, square of that, plus the square of this vertical velocity, and the square of vertical velocity is capital R plus small r omega 1 sine of theta, and square of this whole term. So this total kinetic energy, now these two are the gain of kinetic energy, and this is the loss of kinetic energy, and they should be equal. The loss of kinetic energy should be equal to the gain in kinetic energy. So I write down the equation as mg into capital R plus small r into 1 minus cos of theta, which is the loss in potential energy, equal to the gain in kinetic energy, which is half m v square plus half small m into capital R plus small r into omega 2, capital R plus small r into omega 2 into cos of theta minus V square of this horizontal velocity plus capital R plus small r omega 2 into sine of theta square of this vertical velocity, and plus the kinetic energy corresponding to the spin of sphere, which is 2 by 5 m small r square into omega spin square, and that is our third equation now. So we have obtained three equations. Okay, we have obtained the three necessary equations to solve this question. Before I proceed for the answer part, I will re-explain it briefly, that the first basic principle used in this question is conservation of linear momentum. And remember, during conservation of linear momentum, do not forget to take the velocity of center of mass in a ground frame. Then there is a criteria for rolling without slipping, and for this we have to take relative velocity. So you need to be very clear where we have to take the velocity with respect to ground and where we have to take the velocity with respect to the hemisphere. For writing down the criteria of rolling without slipping, you need to have the relative velocity equal to the tangential velocity caused by the spin of a sphere. Whereas for conservation of linear momentum or for the conservation of kinetic energy, you need to consider the velocity of small sphere relative to the ground. Take care of these concepts. And now, if you solve all these three equations, so solve equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. Obviously, it will take some time. And after a complete proper calculation, you will get the velocity of that sphere as. It is a very big expression, so I am writing down 10 m square, which is small m square, times capital R plus small r g times 1 minus cos of theta, then cos square theta. That is the term in the numerator part, and in the denominator part, you will have a bigger expression like something like this: 7 capital M plus small m minus 5 This is minus 5 small m cos square of theta, outside which it is capital M plus small m. That is the velocity of hemisphere. Right. So take care of the concepts which are involved in this question. This is a very good question to have a proper revision of mechanics. That conservation of linear momentum requires the velocities in the ground frame. Conservation of energy required the velocities in the ground frame, whereas the criteria for rolling without slipping on a movable surface requires the relative velocity of center of mass relative to that surface equal to the tangential velocity of caused by the spin of the sphere. Right? Take care and bye bye. Thank you.